surefire ways to get to know your target market and your ideal customer. So we talk about this all the time. We talk about that you have to get to know your ideal customer, that you need to figure out who they are, first of all. But then once you figure out who that person is, you want to get to know them just as well as you know your best friend or a family member or your sibling or your parent. You want to get to know them like they're one of the family. So, how do you do that? If it's somebody that you've never met, how do you get to know them? Well, you get to know people that are like them. And so I'm going to talk to you tonight about how you actually go about doing that. And that might be a little bit scary, especially for people that are introverted. And I am a little bit of a closet introvert. And I know that might sound weird because I do these videos, and it may seem like somebody who would get in front of a camera in front of a bunch of strangers would not be an introvert, but I am. Because after this, I'm going to go and put on my pajamas, and I'm going to go and in my cocoon and recharge, because that's what I do. But I love being around people, but then afterwards I have to go and recharge and be in my own little me space. So this is for you too. If you're an introvert, you can do this. So the way that you get to know your target market, your ideal customer avatar is this. These are the 6 ways that you do it. So the first thing is you can do a survey, a questionnaire, or a poll. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to, don't try to make it into something crazy or some long drawn out thing. You don't have to have anything more than maybe 5 questions. You don't want to make it too long, because people will not answer something that is super long. Think about the surveys that you get. When they're too long, you don't finish them. So the goal is you want people to finish it. And there are lots of tools out there. There's SurveyMonkey. There's all of these things that you can use that are free. Just Google free survey tools and you will get a ton of options that are out there. There's some paid ones too, but something like SurveyMonkey will work for you, or Typeform, or even Google Forms you can use for free. Use something like that. Email it out to people that are on your email list. If you don't have an email list yet, email it out to family and friends. Email it out to people that fit within characteristics of what you've already identified as your target market. And if you're not sure what that is yet, email your family and friends. Okay? Use that. Or post it on your website and let that be the first thing that people fill out. People love a quiz. So you can put a quiz on your website, and that can be a way that you can collect email addresses too. So people will sign up to take a quiz if you make it something that is fun. That is a great freebie for people. Well, they will give you their email address in exchange for a quiz. And y'all excuse me because I'm a little bit congested. We've been having all kinds of, when you have a little person in the house, they are like walking petri dishes. So we've been passing colds and things throughout our house over like the last month. So it's my turn. So please excuse the congestion and the stuffiness right now, but that's what I'm dealing with right now. So yeah, a survey, a poll, or a quiz, and it doesn't have to just be over email or on your website. You can put it on your social media. Just put a poll in your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories, or post it, or do a post where you're just asking one question. It doesn't even have to be 5. One question where you're asking something like, what would you like to see more of from me? Or what is your biggest struggle? Or something like that, where you're just getting feedback from your audience. And when you put it on social media, you'll get more than just the people who know you, because other people than just people that you know might see it. And you'll get a wider response than what you thought of. And if you make your question a little bit creative or put a little bit of a twist on it, you're more likely to get more eyes on it and people to respond. So that is the first way. The second way that you can get to know your ideal customer or your target market is interviews. So this is a little bit different than just a survey, a poll, or a questionnaire. This is actually sitting down and going through a list of questions with somebody one-on-one. So with an interview, you want to set aside some time with somebody, schedule time with them, at least about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, depending on how many questions that you have, where you are really trying to get down to the heart of what are their struggles, what is it that they want to achieve, and try to figure out their pain points, things that they've tried before in the past that haven't worked for them. And you can really learn a lot from people, but the key is let them do most of the talking. You ask a question and then just sit back and let them go. And they may give you an answer, and you can ask a follow-up question like, well, tell me more about that. Okay, well, why do you think that is? Do things like that to maybe get them to go a little bit deeper, but let them talk and shut up. You'll get so much good information that you can use to really understand who your target market is and who your ideal customer is that you won't even believe. You might even get ideas for products and services that you hadn't even thought of, problems that you can solve that you hadn't even thought of before. And you can do that over the phone. You can do it over Skype or Zoom if you're somebody that would prefer to do it virtually. But take somebody out for coffee and meet with them in person. You can do that too. I highly recommend recording these because it's great to be able to really focus on that person one-on-one and listen to everything that they're saying instead of trying to take notes. I've actually just gone through some of these types of interviews myself, and I like being able to go back and listen to a recording. So I actually record those interviews so that I can go back and listen to them later and take my notes so that I can actually be engaged in the conversation while I'm there instead of worrying about taking notes on everything that they're saying. So number 3 is produce regular content and post it. So whatever type of content you are comfortable with, that's what you should be producing regularly. Now you might be thinking, how is that going to help me get to know my target market? By producing regular content. That's not asking any questions. But think about this for a moment. For me, I do live videos. That's my form of regular content. When I'm doing these regular videos, you guys engage with me. You might ask me questions. You might post comments. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning about my target market as I'm posting these videos. I might take snippets of these and post them on social media, and then I get engagement on my social media and I learn about my target market that way. Same thing with if video is not your thing, maybe blogging is your thing. When you post your blog, people engage with you on your blog, and even if they might not post a comment, if someone shares it, then that is helping you to figure out, oh, okay, this content is something that resonates with certain people. And if you've got your Google Pixel on there, then you can get information on who it is that's sharing, who's going on to your blog post and reading it. And maybe if blogging is not your thing, maybe you don't like writing, but you like talking, but maybe you don't like being in front of the camera, then maybe a podcast is for you. And there's analytics you can get from your podcast to figure out who is listening to your podcast, so you can find out about your audience that way too. iTunes is great about analytics that way. Just like when I do these Facebook Lives, I can see analytics about Facebook is great at data, so you can see data about who your audience is as well. So that's another option is regular content. All right, so we have gone through half of the list. We're halfway there. Number 4, go online. There's so much data and research that's available for you to learn about your target market where you don't even have to talk to somebody. So we've talked about ways that you can interact with people, but this is where you can actually do research where you're not even having to talk to somebody. So if you're a data person, going online is a great way to learn about your target market. Google has everything, right? We can find out anything we want to know from Google. So there's reports, there are studies, there's case studies. You can find out about different companies. If you are a B2B, if B2B is your customer base, so you can find out information that way. Going and getting the census report will get you information about your target market. You can also look at online groups like Facebook. Excuse me, guys. I told y'all that I am fighting a cold. So I'm sorry. But yeah, Facebook groups. Joining different Facebook groups, you can interact. I just said you don't have to talk to people, but Facebook groups is a great way for you to interact with people and talk to people and ask questions and engage and see what questions are being asked, what struggles people are dealing with that might be within your target market, and you can learn a lot there. Also, Quora. If you've never gone on Quora, that's where people ask questions online, and you can learn a lot about the things that people are struggling with, things that people are wondering about, and you can learn about your target market that way. Also, Medium. Medium is a platform where people post different articles. So you can see what articles are getting engagement that are related to your area of expertise, and you can see the comments that are below those articles, and those are the people who are your target market. So you can see what types of comments, even if they're not posting comments on your content, you can see what comments are being posted on other people's content, so you can learn about your target market that way. Okay, so that was number 4. On number five. So number 5 is live events. So we're back to, for those introverts, you do have to talk to some people if you want to learn about your target market. Okay, I gave you one where you don't have to talk to people going online, but you do have to talk to people if you want to learn about your target market. That's just part of being a business owner, part of being an entrepreneur. So, live events. There's a lot of different ways that you can do live events. So that can be going to a networking event and talking to people and asking questions, engaging with people. You can host your own social event, because sometimes people don't feel comfortable like with networking per se, but maybe if you just invite a bunch of people over who have similar interests that might be within the profile or have similar characteristics of your target audience or your ideal customer avatar, and just invite them over for a social event and just start conversation. You will learn so much about the desires, the fears, the needs, the struggles of your target market that you can use to really understand who it is that you're trying to target and figure out what type of messaging, what type of language will resonate with your ideal customer. You can also go to different meetups. So if you've never done a meetup, Google meetups, and you will find all kinds of meetups that are in your area that are related to all types of different interests and social outings or business or networking that you can go to, and just go and you can meet people, you can learn, you can just introduce yourself and find out about different things that people are interested in. But it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to engage with people. You can even create your own meetup that might be related to your topic, and you can meet people that are interested in that topic, and that is your target market. You can learn from the people that show up. Okay, number 6. We're on the last one. We made it. Number 6 is go old school. Just go old school. So I'm not going to make you break out an encyclopedia, but we're almost there. So go to your local Chamber of Commerce. There is a wealth of information at your Chamber of Commerce. They have access to all kinds of studies and information about the people, especially if you are a local business. There's information about the people that are in your area, the types of businesses that are in your area. If you are a B2B company, or even if you're B2C, they have information about the types of people that have moved to the area, the people that live in your area, and opportunities to engage with them. So there's opportunities for you to go to different events where you can go and talk to people and network with people that are in your area that could be within your target market. Also, small business development centers have information about your target market that you can do research. They have studies and information and data that you can tap into. So that is how we used to do it old school when we were researching target market. But you can do that too. And that information is free. Free 99. We love free. So all of these tools that I've given you, these are all free things that you can do. So a lot of people think that it has to be complicated. It has to be something that you have to spend money for. You have to hire somebody to do this for you. You can do all this stuff. You can just set aside 30 minutes a day for a week and knock this out. Or set aside just one day and do it. And you're done. You've got your target market research done. You've nailed down who your ideal customer avatar is, and you know how to speak to them. So I do have a tool that can help you, like once you've gotten all this information, like to put it all together in a way that you can just refer to it and keep adding to it as you continue to learn more and more about your ideal customer and your target market. And I use it myself. It's really helpful for me to just refer to so I can stay focused on who is it that I'm talking to, because sometimes we think that we have to talk to everybody. We think that we have to make our message resonate with everybody, but really, you just got to talk to that one person. And if you focus on talking to that one person, your ideal customer, then your message will resonate, and you may attract other people too, but you'll be more authentic because you're just being you and you're just having a conversation instead of hi people or hi guys. That does not sound real. Nobody talks like that. You're just talking to one person. So that's what I do every time I get on a live video. I imagine my one person. I've given her a name. It is a her. My person is a her. I've given her a name, and I know everything about her. I know what she likes. I know what she watches on TV. I know what social media platforms she's on. I know what time of day she's on there. I know what she does with her family. I know what kind of car she drives. All of those things. But I've done that through my market research, and then I've documented it. And so I have a tool that I use, and I'll share that with you guys. You can have access to it. I'm going to post the link in the comments if you'd like to get that.